Okay. Thank you, Alex. Привет. Okay. Thank you very much. Dear honorable guests, ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon. And it's a great honor for me to speak at this conference. I think this is the largest free conference of data science in Russia. And we think we should have more opportunities to take part in the activity like this to strengthen the communication between Alibaba and the community of data science in Russia. Okay? So in this talk, I will introduce some work of artificial intelligence in Alibaba. And because I come from the machine translation group in DAMO Academy, so I will introduce some work of machine translation. Okay, so let's start. Okay, I will start my talk with a true story. Does anyone know something about Double 11 Shopping Festival here? Okay. Yeah. On the 11th November of each year, Alibaba will launch a great promotion, which called Double 11 Shopping Festival. And the last shopping festival was a great success. In the shopping festival, the total gross merchandise volume is more than $25 billion. And the consumers across the world, around about 20 countries, purchase the goods on Alibaba's platform. And but in the last year's shopping festival, something occurred after a few days of the festival. When the consumers purchase the goods, they want to get the package as soon as possible. And Cainiao is the department of our logistics. They are responsible to send the packages to the consumers. But they found many packages was blocked in a China customers. So what happened? Okay. They contact the officers of China customers, and the officers told them that many customer declaration forms of the packages that don't meet the requirement of China customers. So why? Because many sellers in our platform are the small size or medium size company. They have no much experience about how to fill in the forms of customer declaration. So even we ask them to rewrite these forms, they don't know how to fill these forms. So Cainiao asked us to help them to develop a new system that automatically generates the declaration of customers of these packages. And so we worked together for a few days. And then we developed a new system that extracts the information of the product to generate the forms of customer declaration, and then translates the information in English into Chinese. And so the problem was solved. And so we think in this year, this issue will never happen again. Okay, so we come to the next one. This is our main part of the presentation. At the first part, I will introduce who we are and what is our main duty. And the second part, I will introduce some work about artificial intelligence, especially machine translation. Okay, I think maybe more people know Jack Ma than know than the people know Alibaba. So here I will give you a brief introduction of Alibaba, and Alibaba is more than an e-commerce company. It has the largest B2B and B2C marketplaces in the world. And it also has the largest cloud computing company in China, which is called Ali Cloud. And financial is also a component of Alibaba. It's the largest internet finance company in the world. And it also has some departments about logistics called 菜鸟, and a department about entertainment called Youku, just like YouTube. Okay? So Alibaba's mission is to make it easy to do business anywhere. And Alibaba itself doesn't sell products, and it helps the companies to sell their products. So Alibaba invests much on the technology to make it easy to do business. Last year, Jack Ma announced an investment about $15 billion in the next 3 years to build up an academy, which is called DAMO Academy, which means the Academy for Discovery, Adventure, Momentum, and Outlook. The academy consists of 4 laboratories. One is machine intelligence technology. The other is quantum computing, and robotics laboratory, and fintech laboratory. So from these names, you can see we focus different research topics on about natural language processing, artificial intelligence, quantum computing, robotics, Internet of Things, and also the financial technology. Okay? So the machine translation team now is in the laboratory of machine intelligence technology. And the formal body of machine intelligence technology lab is IDST, which means Institute of Data Science and Technology. It was established in 2014, and now the lab was comprised of more than 400 engineers and scientists. The offices of the lab are located in Hangzhou, Beijing, Seattle, Silicon Valley, and Singapore. And now we are building a team in Moscow. It will open soon. And the main duty of MIT is to doing the research and development of fundamental technology in the artificial intelligence. So specifically, we focus on 4 topics of research. One is the speech technology, and the second is the image processing and analyzing. Third is deep learning and the algorithm optimization. And of course, natural language processing is one of our topic. Okay? So as for the machine translation technology team, now we have a team about more than 40 people. And the offices was in Hangzhou, in Beijing, and Seattle. Okay, so we are focused on to develop the cutting edge of machine translation technology and multilingual natural language processing. Excuse me? Hi, excuse me, it doesn't work? Yeah? Okay, excuse me. Okay, I'm sorry. It doesn't work. Okay, no, it's okay. Thank you very much. Yeah. And in the business scenario of Alibaba, machine translation plays a very important role. So I will give you some examples. For a business in Alibaba, if the business wants to expand its business to a new area, for example, in Russia, at first step is usually to SEO or SEM. So we need to translate the SEO page or words into the native language. And after the, if the user visit our web page through a link provided by a search engine, usually they want to see the page or the information of products written in their own native languages. So we need to translate all the information in the website into the native language. And after that, if the user inputs the queries, and we need to translate all the queries into the language that by which the index was built. And so if the user wants to buy something, and usually they want to consult the sellers about the information of the products. So if the sellers come from another country, and maybe they cannot talk with each other, so we need to provide the translation tool to translate all the conversations into the language they can understand. Okay. So this is a business of Alibaba now we are supporting. For example, AliExpress, Alibaba.com, Lazada, and Tmall. And actually, now more than 40 departments of Alibaba is using the machine translation service, and more than 160 applications call the machine translation API every day. Okay, so this is the numbers of Alibaba machine translation. We have translated the information of more than 500 million products, and each day we process more than 700 million requests, and it's about more than 15 billion words. And at the last Double 11, the cost of machine translation reached the peaks, about 50,000 requests per second. And now we are supporting more than 20 languages and 50 language pairs. Okay, so this is a business ecosystem of Alibaba Translation. And actually, for machine translation, the data is very critical to improve the translation quality. So we have built a framework consisting of machine translation, and human translation. The human translation will provide another way to solve the data problem. For example, we can crawl the data from internet to gather the parallel sentence pairs. But for some specific domains, and we cannot get the data. So we need to build this data with human translators. And so this is the overall framework of our translation system. Okay. When building the machine translation for e-commerce, we face many challenges. And I characterize all the challenges into 3 types. One is about translation quality. For example, at least we need to provide the readable output of the target language, but it's not enough. For e-commerce, there are many key parts in the information we must pay attention to. For example, the brand names, the product names. If we translate this information wrongly, it will cause disputes between the sellers and the buyers. So we need to design new method to guarantee this information can be translated correctly. And also, we cannot promise to translate all the information 100% correctly. So if some bad cases, if we found some bad cases, we need to correct these errors as soon as possible, because maybe the errors will cause some disputes. And the second problem of the challenges is about engineering. And just as I mentioned in previous section, every day we process huge requests concurrently. So we need to provide an industrial level system that can to process very high which provides the ability of high concurrency and low latency of the inference. And to accelerate the algorithm optimization, we need to develop a faster training scheme on a large-scale corpus. And as for the service quality, we need to guarantee high availability of the service. And we need to design a flexible and rich interface to correspond to different requests of calling. And also, we need to provide the ability to extend to new language pairs. Okay, so I will come to the details about our machine translation system. So this is the first part of machine translation. We think because data is critical. So here I will show something, some work about Alibaba's machine translation. Okay, as for the corpus, we concern most about 3 aspects. One is quantity, another is quality, and the third is relevance. For the quantity, we design different sources to gather data. Of course, the most important method is to gather data from internet. So we design a powerful crawler to gather the parallel corpus. And another way is to purchase or to exchange the data with some vendors of data. And the third is the crowdsourcing, which produce some data that cannot be crawled by the internet. Okay, And another problem is the quantity of the data. And you know, many data you cloud from the internet is full of noisy. So we need to identify what the quantity of the data is. We develop some new algorithms to class the data into different level of quantity. We use a language model, we use a IB model, and RNN-based decoding to identify the quality, and we'll give them scores of each corpus. And if the score above some threshold, we will keep this data. And if it's below the threshold, they will be discarded. And we're also trying to build a knowledge base for e-commerce. And we think now we have built the largest size of knowledge base for e-commerce in the world. Okay. For Alibaba's machine translation, we don't use a single model to process all kinds of input. Actually, for different scenarios, we use different models. For example, when we translate the numbers, the date, or the address, we use a rule-based machine translation. Okay. And for the product title or the query, we use statistical machine translation because the product title or the queries is not a typical sentence, and usually they are composed by some phrases. So when we have attempts to, we have tried different models on the performance of the translation of titles and queries. And as for now, we think the phrase-based machine translation achieves the best performance. And of course, we develop our own neural machine translation. In 2016, we developed our first version of neural machine translation, which is based on recurrent neural network with LSTM and attention mechanism. And last year, we developed a neural machine translation-based transformer. And based on these models, we have proposed new ideas to improve the performance of these models on e-commerce domain. Here is some of our work. So I will introduce this work in detail. Okay, so this is the first one is work to improve the translation quality for morphological rich languages. Actually, it divides a separate neural network to predict the suffix of each word. Its basic idea is to split each word in a sentence into stems and suffixes. And then the original neural network will generate the translate text of the stem, and another neural network will generate the suffix. And this work achieve a good performance, even based on a strong baseline. And this is the work proposed by ourselves and has been published in AAAI. And another work is about translation intervention. And it's very critical to the application of neural machine translation in e-commerce domain. Yeah. So we use a copying network to solve this problem. Yeah. Actually, it replaces the original text, the part that to be intervened in the source text with its corresponding part of the target languages. And then it will, the sentence will be sent to the neural network and will be decoded and generates the target languages. And another work is about engineering. It's about distributed training with model average. And at first, we train our models just in one single GPU card. And when we train 50 million sentence pairs, it will cost 20 days to complete the training. And so we work together with another team to implement a distributed training. And it uses a method which is called BMEF. And now we can train, the training time on 50,000 sentence pairs is less than 40 hours. And another important problem is the inference optimization of MT. And we know that the inference speed of neural machine translation is much slower than SMT. So we also work together with another team focusing on the optimization of deep learning to rewrite the underlying implementation of TensorFlow. And also we have tried other optimization methods to utilize the cache to accelerate the inference speed. And now we achieve the three times speed of inference than the original version of transformer. Okay. Although most of our work is related to text translation, we are trying to implement the multi-modal translation. Yeah, because for many business scenarios, the user want to use some, maybe they want to talk directly to each other. So we have implemented speech translation now. And also we are trying to develop an imaging translation, which will extract the information in the images of product description. And then it will generate the images with target languages. Okay. And besides translation, we did some work about multilingual natural language processing. One is query translation. And we found that the consumers usually import their queries with wrong spelling. Okay? Oh, sorry, I don't know Russian, so I'm not sure if this example is right. Okay? And at first, we will identify the language, and then we found the query is misspelled. Okay, then we will correct the spelling of the query with Faru or a method based on statistical machine translation. And okay, so after this work, the query will be sent to the cross-lingual information retrieval system. And yeah, we have, this is our recent work. we use a self-attention neural network to improve the performance of language recognition. And yeah, it outperforms the traditional method based on maximum entropy model. Okay, so this is a conclusion of my presentation. Although neural machine translation has made great progress recently, but we don't think the machine translation will replace human translators completely soon. So, but we think in some scenarios, machine translation still bring in real values. For example, e-commerce, okay? Because we have no other way to solve the requirement in e-commerce because of, the massive data, yeah, and the speed need to be translated, okay? And, but in e-commerce, some problem of I think the characteristics of the data in these domains pose extra difficulties for the application of machine translation. There are many terms in some domains, in consumer electronics, in decorations, in machinery, yeah, just something like that. And it also needs very, very high engineering implementation of the system. Okay, and we don't think it's a good idea to use one single model to process all the requests of machine translation in business scenarios. And for us, we use hybrid machine translation engines to process different data. Okay, and also we think to implement industrial level of machine translation, you need to consider quality, flexibility, and availability of the service. So you must make the balance between the algorithm optimization and the engineering problems. Okay? So yeah, that's my presentation. And I'm happy to share our work on machine translation with everyone. And yeah, so if you have any questions, I'm happy to answer it. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Thank you very much. Do you use click rate information to improve translation precision?
Excuse me?
When users search products and AliExpress translates from Russia, for example, to English, and I see many products. Some of them correct, some fail. I click correct, and do you use?
What?
I will translate. So he tries to ask, do you have a special mechanism if your translation engine made a mistake for a user to correct this mistake right there in place? Do you have a mechanism for that?
Yeah, we have implemented the algorithm proofreading to correct the errors in the input. Okay? Did I answer your question? Yeah.
Hi. My question is, what was your primary motivation to, let's say, reinvent the wheel and not to partner up with Microsoft Asia, with some other big players in terms of the machine translation and so on and so forth? I understand you can save there quite some money, I guess, but still you are reinventing a lot of the wheel by doing all those kinds of, translations internally. Thank you.
Sorry, I can't hear you clearly. Will you repeat your question?
So you didn't hear the question?
Yeah, I can't hear the question
He
clearly.
asked
Yeah.
what was the reason that you needed to create your own machine translation systems and not use the external ones, the ones created by Microsoft or Google or something else.
Yeah, mostly we think the most important question is about data security. And we have tried the translation service of Google and Bing, but we don't think it's a good solution to us. For example, when we tried the Google Translate to translate the product information in our platform, and there are many out of vocabulary words in the translated texts. So we don't think they will customize their engines for us. Okay.
Does anybody else has questions? No? Okay. So we're gonna thank Lou for a great presentation. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you very much.